Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. I'm Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me as well. We just wanted to thank you for watching.
Yes. Hey, Bobby.
And hey, and while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You could follow me on YouTube as well as Chaos and the podcast channel, which all three of those channels will be streaming this very show you're about to watch. All these counselors start dropping dead, left and right. Heinous killings. Turns out, that kid who drowned the year before, his mother came back to that camp and exacted revenge.
Pants tomorrow, please, David.
Carrie, I want you to join your brothers in the ring.
Yes, sir. Carrie's my favorite, then Kev, then David, then Mike. But the rankings can always change.
We're here to restore justice to the Wrestling Federation that our father built with his own two hands. The hands that were passed down to us. The hands that will deliver the iron claw to you.
I'll talk to you about something tomorrow. Dad's too tough on us. You gotta say something.
Baby, that's what your brothers are for.
Feel that? You feel that? That's pressure.
Father, why do I still feel guilty? The guilt means your work is not yet finished.
He's tracking gangs to their home turf and taking them out with military precision.
With knowledge and hardware to take out half the city, Hell's Kitchen is about to explode. Bang.
Maybe we created him.
Fire is the element of power. The people of the Fire Nation have desire and will, and the energy and drive to achieve what they want. Earth is the element of substance. The people of the Earth Kingdom are diverse and strong. They are persistent and enduring. Air is the element of freedom. The air nomads detached themselves from worldly concerns and found peace and freedom. Water is the element of change. The people of the Water Tribe are capable of adapting to many things.
Aang is the Avatar. He's the world's only chance. You both found him for a reason. Now your destinies are intertwined with his.
Oh God, I did it to myself. I did what? I was supposed to do it to you. Why did I do it to myself?
I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird. How you doing, Bobby?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm okay. I had a little bit of a theater adventure.
Oh, yeah?
So fun fact: Iron Claw isn't playing in a whole lot of theaters, but
No, it
I
is
will
not.
say,
I also had trouble tracking down a showtime this week.
Yeah, I was able to get one at 7:00 tomorrow, but I had to go to Newport, Kentucky, which is a little bit of an road trip for me. Which for me, the biggest issue isn't really the road trip because it's 45 minutes. It's doable, but I just hate the fact that to get there, it's just driving through downtown Cincinnati, which is fun.
It's a nightmare.
No, it's fun. What?
Okay. Did you go across the Great American Ball Field?
I don't know.
The Red Stadium. Where the Reds play baseball.
Oh yeah, no, that's there. But
so, no. I mean, did you drive past it?
pretty sure.
So
There's quite a few stadiums down there.
yeah. Well, yeah, there's the football stadium
hmm
and the baseball stadium, and I think a
hmm
basketball or two.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but yeah, I know. I went to the AMC in Newport, which is a nice AMC. I will say it's cleaner than the AMC I go to, but it's been a long time since I've been there. The theater,
I,
like the seating arrangement, isn't as good as the theater I usually go to.
I
And also,
experienced something similar.
yeah, well, also they now charge for parking. It used to be like there's this desk where like there's a parking garage because it's a mall, and I could just
Yeah.
like show them my movie ticket, and they'd be like, "Okay, here's your free parking pass." They don't do that anymore. So if you go see a movie there, you're paying for parking. And I was just like, "Wow, I don't think I ever want to go to this theater ever again."
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like bullshit to me.
Yeah,
Um,
I also had a very interesting theater going experience.
mhm.
I usually go to a Cinemark near the other mall, like a mall, a Polaris Mall here in Columbus. But like the last showings of that were on last Tuesday at like 1:50,
Oof.
and it's like I'm still at work then. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to make that. But at the other mall, Easton, the AMC there, they had a showing at like 7:20 on Wednesday. So I ended up going
Oh,
to that one. And it was maybe like a 6 or 8 row theater, very small. Like I'm
mhm.
surprised. Like it seems like they just tucked that one in there to have an extra theater house.
I
But
will
I don't
say
know.
there was a decent number of people in my theater, but yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
was a
decent amount of people.
very small theater.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah, I want
very
to say it was
small
maybe
theater.
8 rows for me as well.
And I don't know
But
how
there's
I
plenty of
managed.
people there.
Yeah, I don't know how I managed to do this, but I picked the one seat, and I'm sure that entire theater that did not recline or could not recline.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. I
uh,
mean, other than that, I haven't been to that theater. Gosh, like
I know I went to that theater semi regularly when I lived in the area, but like I know when I went to that
yeah,
theater, it wasn't recliners at all. It was all just like the old school theater seats,
the big
which
co-
I
the
despise.
yeah, yeah. The other Cinemark in town, the one in Gahanna, still has a lot of those seats. I think you only have to get I don't think they even have like the big fancy screens or anything.
Yeah. Well, I know
But
the most local theater, the Hamilton Theater, that is all those seats. It's called the AMC Classic, and classic just means shitty seats essentially.
yeah, like I mean, my only complaint was really just the experience.
Mhm.
Like there was a seat open next to me, and I'm thinking, all right, if that stays open by the time the trailers are on, I'm gonna move over to it. And like right as the
Mhm.
lights went down, this dude walked up. Oh, here, all right, here it is. Hey, what's up, man? Hi.
Mhm. Fuck.
Yeah, you motherfucker. But
uh,
I didn't have to pay for parking there. However,
yeah.
that's I mean that sucks you had to.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's a mall as well. That's a very similar setup to the Newport one, except like
Okay.
I don't recall paying for the parking in that
Mm-mm,
garage
mm-mm.
at all. It's just
Well, they've added like a
small
whole
garage
outdoor
parking. Yeah.
wing. They've added like a whole outdoor open mall concept to like the other side of it. So like where it was just those few little shops, now they've gone
hmm
back and expanded far, and now it's a giant walking mall. They do like yoga on the weekend on Saturday or Sunday morning during
Oh,
like the
nice.
nicer weather. They have like giant like walking gardens, giant open patios, restaurants and stuff. It's
Nice.
changed quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I definitely haven't been there since I lived there. So, I moved out when Ashleen was a baby, and she is almost 16. So I think it's
Oh,
been a while since
yeah,
I.
I don't think you'd recognize it now.
Mhm.
I mean, they
God,
got a
that's weird to
Tesla
think Ashley's
dealership,
almost
man.
16.
They got a Tesla dealership now.
Oh my god. Like,
It's
I
swanky.
and I remember when we first met, that was when Ashleen was a baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh
Wow.
god.
Wow.
Yeah. Holy shit, time
She's
flies.
wow.
But you know
Hey,
what?
that means the next time you guys come to Columbus, she could drive back.
Well, that requires her to take to have a desire to drive, because I've actually asked her if she wants her learner's permit at least 2 or 3 times, and she adamantly does not.
Okay.
It's like, okay.
That's
um,
fair.
yeah, no, I'm in no rush. I don't need her to drive for any reason. So it's like, yeah, take your time. I mean, studies have shown the later you learn to drive, typically the safer you are. And I don't know if that's a correlation or causation at all, but I don't know. I'll take
I
it.
mean, I didn't get mine when I was 16. I waited a little bit.
Yeah, I got mine when I was 18 or 19, I want to say.
Yeah.
But anyways, God, that was so long ago too. God damn it. But you know what? Little adventure to go see the movie, but you know what? I did, and this is a movie I'd actually never heard of until you
Yeah.
brought it up, and I saw it was getting really good reviews, so I went to see it, and part of me really loved this movie, and then part of me was really just depressed after this movie.
Well, yeah,
And
it's
I
not a
think,
happy. It's not
yeah,
really a
to
happy story. Yeah.
to effect that's a compliment to the movie, because it's not meant to be a happy story. But Bobby, why don't you go into what you know about this?
Okay, well, the Iron Claw talks about the Von Erich family of wrestling, actually the Atkinsons family, but their father went by the gimmick name Von Erich, German, because he was wrestling in the 40s and he was going as a heel, so he played a Nazi character, thus the German last name. Fact. But yeah, all of his boys went into wrestling. Now this one, it doesn't show all. It talks about mainly 5, but there are actually 6 Von
Yeah.
Erich children.
That's actually something I looked up, because I was looking up a little bit of the history last night after seeing this movie, and I saw Chris. I was like, wait, was there a Chris?
Yeah,
I don't
there wasn't.
remember a Chris. I don't.
But their father, who drove them all, Fritz was his name. But he kind of, I don't want to say drove, but he really encouraged them, like into wrestling. Following their father. But 5 of his 6 kids died before him.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
it was so the reason why Chris wasn't put in this, the director said, was because the movie couldn't handle that much more tragedy. And I will say, upon watching it, I kind of agree. Like, I think this is a really well done, sad movie, but like, oh man, I don't want one more death on it.
Yeah, like they mentioned about one that happened off screen, and that was a kid, but actually,
yeah,
the kid, Joe Jr., I want to say. No, I have my notes here.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, the youngest of the 5, the youngest of the 6. Yeah, Jack Jr. Yeah, he accidentally drowned in a puddle at the age of 6 in 1959, when the family lived in Niagara Falls. Now in 84, David, who we saw in the film and in the opening bit, the feller with the cowboy hat, he died in Tokyo when he was over there working for Japanese wrestling. It was enteritis, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, there's my notes. I have it there. But Mike, Chris, and Carrie all died by suicide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chris is not in the movie, but we get
Chris
Carrie and Mike.
Mike overdosed on pills, and he was found in a lake at the age of 23. Chris and Carrie both shot themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess
that might have also been why, because Carrie and Chris, like, reading it, like, when I went into what Chris died of, I was like, wait, did they mix Chris and Carrie a bit in the movie?
Kind of, and I think they they mixed a little bit of every of them, because Carrie was one of the only one who made it to the peak of professional wrestling industry, which would be WWF at that time, now WWE. And one of his first major matches, which he won the Intercontinental Championship, which is the second tier to the greatest at that time in 1990. That was at the SummerSlam of 1990, where he fought Kurt Hennig and won it there in like a 6-minute match. Actually, after I
Oh,
got home,
wow.
I went home and I watched it, and the footage
Oh,
that they
wow.
showed in the movie was the actual match itself.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
Oh, Pinky, that's all. Oh, Pink, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
They didn't mention anything about concussions in the film. They more just
No.
talked like they do speed through their career quite a bit. Like Kerry joins his brothers and he wins the Texas area NWA championship, and he gets in the motorcycle crash.
Yeah. That it's actually kind of wild. So like Kerry was an Olympian and he went off to the Olympics, and I
Well,
think that's like a huge deal. And then
well, they were, but Carter didn't want the American Olympians competing.
yeah, and then he just became a wrestler. Mike really wanted to be a musician, and I'm not gonna lie, like one of the saddest moments in that movie was just suddenly we cut to a scene in Mike's wrestling, and I'm like, oh, dude, you, oh, because yeah, that was the thing with the father. Like it seemed like every kid when the opportunity came up, the father's like, go wrestle, go wrestle, go wrestle, and
Yeah.
it's like, can they just like follow their own dreams? I mean, you seem to be doing like, I'm sure there's financial issues, but like you seem like you're doing well enough that maybe if the kids want to wrestle, go ahead and let them wrestle. If they don't,
Yeah, because
don't. Because it seems like Kevin's down with it. Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin seemed the most down with it, who was played in this by
Yeah.
Zac Efron, which I gotta
By
say,
the-
in this cast, oh my god, everybody was
Dude.
great.
Zac Efron, like you can tell it's him and in the face, and that's about it. Like he transformed his body. He turned into like the body of a wrestler. Like
Yeah, I would all
holy
of them,
shit.
like all of
Yeah.
them looked really like even Jeremy Allen White, who played Carrie, that one was just holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole cast is great. Yeah, this is it's a
I do have one minor complaint about the film, and it's just the guy who
Yeah.
played Ric Flair. No,
Yeah.
no, just
Eh. I thought it was fine, but like it's not a huge role. And actually it didn't make
No.
me wonder, like wrestlers in general don't have the greatest lifespan. And yeah, I mean Pink Bunny.
Well,
zero
some of
bottom
them
concussions
do.
and
Some of them do,
well,
but like
that's why I just looked
they
up
live
because
fast.
Ric Flair is alive. It's
Yeah,
74
Ric
years
Flair
old.
is alive.
Yeah.
Some of those guys are, but the ones who live a little too fast are the ones who go early, and it's a shame.
Mm-hmm. True, but yeah, no, it did make me wonder because like they brought up Ric Flair. I was like, oh, I definitely know that name. The Von Erichs were like vaguely familiar. It's like I think I've heard of them, but like
Yeah,
I
you've
didn't
heard.
really know too much about the history. Ric Flair was somebody I definitely knew of.
Well, the Fabulous Flying Freebirds, that was the 3-on-3 match in the beginning. The one guy who was playing Michael Hayes looked just like Michael Hayes at that time.
Oh,
Like I knew who it was before they announced it, and I was like, "Oh, the Freebirds, awesome!" But yeah, that's the brief history I have on the family itself. I mean, the movie covered the gist of the core, the meat and potatoes of it, if you will. But the movie itself, though, yeah, this was really good. I mean, I did see the coordinator in this, the guy who kind of coached all of them and taught them how to take a fall. Here's how you run the ropes. Here's how you pretty much wrestle and everything. Yeah, yes, they do. Was Chavo Guerrero. And I know Chavo from when I was younger, being a fan of wrestling, and his uncle Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie is, well, that's another case of a guy who went very young, heart attack. But Chavo did it, and he also is the first guy that Kevin is wrestling in the beginning. Because I saw him, I was like, hey, I know that guy. I know that dude. It's Chavo. I was like Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. And then I saw the name in the credits. I was like, holy crap, that was Chavo. All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, but they did a great job in this and really just Comparing this to other movies where you see wrestling in it, the in-ring stuff looked the most like it would watching a wrestling event.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I really appreciate about this movie is it really kind of goes over kind of what wrestling is. Like, if
Yeah.
you're not sure, like, I mean, if you were to ask me to define what professional wrestling is, it's kind of like a stuntman, like doing like stunt work almost, stunt fights essentially.
But with the
Um,
storyline.
yeah, there's a storyline to it. They'll go over the moves, the ideas they want to do. That's kind of what it is. Now, it'd be easy to be like, oh, well, it's all fake. Well, there's really a good chance of injury. I mean, even if you look at like stuntmen in movies, they die.
They get hurt.
You
Yeah.
you try to avoid it, but shit does go down. So yeah, that's a great way to say it too. Pink Bunny.
Yeah,
Pink
that's
Bunny
it.
Hero. Stuntmen doing soap operas essentially. Yeah, it's just like dramas and stuff. Yeah, it like there is athletic work to it. There's that's actually one of the things I thought was interesting because Kevin was the most into the wrestling, and Kevin was actually not great at like the performance aspect of it.
He wasn't good on the mic. Yeah, he really wasn't good on the mic.
Which is why when Mike kind of dove into wrestling, not Mike,
David.
Chris.
David,
you're right. David, yes, David. When David got into wrestling, he was much better on the mic, so that's why he kind of went to the forefront of the family very quickly, even though Kevin had put more time into it. But then I brain fart. Well, yeah, but then David has a tragic death because this movie. And I'm saying this movie when it's actually like I mean, it's the history. Like, this is a tragic fucking family history. But David passes, and then Carrie gets the shot over Kevin, which it's one of those things where, like, when you see the dad, like, I'm gonna flip the coin. It's like he's gonna think of some reason. It doesn't matter what the coin lands. It's not gonna be Kevin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ends up being Carrie. Kevin does get the shot, and only pretty much after everyone else is like incapacitated or dead. And it's like,
yeah,
God, it's rough.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, like you really get the sense. Yeah, I was not a fan of their father at all in this movie.
No, neither was I, but I love that
He was
actor.
just-
So it.
Oh yeah, no, the actor did a great job, but like early on, he does the thing where it's like, okay, here's the current ranking. My favorite son is Carrie, then it's Kevin, then it's da. Now the rankings can change. You just got to work towards it, and like he's not doing it as a joke. He's saying it like completely seriously, and I'm like,
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
now, I'll admit, like the guy who was sitting next to me, like at that moment, like I was just like, "Fuck you, dude." He kind of chuckled.
No, I think I moaned something when he did that. I was like,
"Fuck you, dude." Yeah.
What? No.
I will say this though: that house was fucking sick. That kitchen was awesome.
Oh yeah,
two fridges. Did you notice that they had two refrigerators?
Yeah.
But then again, that breakfast they were eating, like that bowl of eggs.
Mm-hmm.
That huge.
Well, I mean, you have a family of wrestlers. They're eating a lot.
You have a family like all boys.
But yeah, I mean, jumping ahead in the movie a bit, like Mike goes into the ring. We only see him for one match where he injures his shoulder, and then during complications in surgery, fixing his shoulder. God, I can't say it. Shoulder. He ends up going into a coma, and then he wakes up, and you can tell he has brain damage, and it's like, oh, fuck, like. He should have been a musician, god damn it. And then then you get the moment, you get that scene later where like you see him after the injury playing guitar, and I'm like hopeful for him. I'm like, oh cool, like if he is dedicated enough to music to keep at it after his brain injury, he might have a chance to rebuild some neurons and shit and just kind of almost recover. But no, that was just kind of what he was doing before he overdosed. And it was like, oh,
Pink
God,
Bunny.
this is sad.
Yeah, that clip of Roddy Piper on Bill Maher. Yeah, that is a great one.
I do kind of want to see.
I got it. I got it. It's one of my favorite Piper clips.
Yeah,
actually.
Well, Piper was awesome.
Yeah, Hot
Dude,
Rod.
talk about somebody who, like, he was awesome in They Live. I'm surprised he never got more of a career.
Yeah, he did Frogtown too.
I have not seen that.
That's a good one. Yeah, but Piper sets it straight right there. And this was he, Sting, and Medusa, and I want to say I can't remember who else was on the show with them. But
I've just found like a minute and a half clip. That's probably the highlights. I could probably just bring that up.
The one I sent you is like the full interview. But yeah.
There's a 15-minute one too, but
yeah, that's the one I sent you.
One might be fun. I could probably just drop this in after a couple minutes. Yeah, it'll be downloaded in like a minute. But
Bobby Heenan.
Yeah,
that's who was on there too. Bobby the fucking Brain Heenan.
Yeah, it looks like he has a whole bunch of wrestlers on with him. And let's face it, like
Bobby
Bill
was
Maher, somebody I used to like more than, and over time it's become clear he's just up his own ass dipshit.
Yeah, Bobby Heenan, I believe he wrestled in like the 50s and 60s, but later on he became more of a commentator personality. Yeah, and honestly, hilarious. Like hilarious. I know there was one. There's a reason why his like nickname on there was the Brain, because he was great. Like he had just had neck surgery, and one of a wrestler came out and like started grabbing on his shoulders because the commentators are out by ringside, and he's grabbing on him, just kind of like hiding from the other guy, joking around. And this is TBS live television. You hear Bobby go, "Hey, the fuck are you doing?" Live TV.
Well, here, let's check out this clip because I kind of want to
check it out. And then
His audience watches wrestling and they are in on the joke. That's not an insult.
So what you're trying to say is people are just dying for this.
I take it as an insult.
I do too. But they're dying to find out, hey, wrestling's fake. No,
then you're telling me that you're really hitting each other?
No.
The sound of the chair is real, okay? We are entertainment, but when a metal chair cracks your back, that's not fake. When somebody throws you from... It's a metal...
Yes, there's never a bruise on any of you.
Feloni, you got a minute? Look at this. No.
Metal hip. Broken wrist. See that wrist? 7 years it's been broken. Owen Hart, dead. Why don't you go tell Mrs. Hart what a joke it is, huh? Oh, it's just a phrase, right?
Damn.
You want me to be truthful with you?
Yeah.
Huh, champ? You know where, if I may say so, sir, the difference is...
What?
He's gonna strike.
Just don't show me your ass again.
Listen, I ain't backstage, man.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not dropping my pants in front of other men, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, how'd you get the job?
I love the look on Sting's face.
It's like, damn.
Like, Jesus, Rod. Yeah. This was right after. This was a little bit of time after Owen Hart passed. After he died tragically. Do you know that?
What?
Owen Hart, how he passed?
No, how'd he pass?
He had this gimmick of the blue blazer where he would ascend from the rafters, right? And this night there was a pay-per-view over the Edge, and they had a different rigging team, different rig, one that he wasn't used to or anything. It snapped midway under his weight. He fell, hit the turnbuckle right on his chest right here. Yeah, died instantly.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Now, the pay-per-view event, like, a room full of people. I still to this day, even I have Peacock, I haven't watched that one. Like I can't because I think that they should have called the show at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But they carried on with the entire show.
Oh, damn.
One of the calls that I think Vince McMahon, that's a bad call, Vince. That's a bad call.
Yeah. Well, it's not like Vince McMahon has ever made a bad call before.
No, he's made plenty. Yeah, I agree with you, Bunny. I can't watch it, or
he's kind of literally a villain.
I get a little bummed when I start watching like random episodes and I see Owen and I know, and if they start talking about that one, I go, oh, yeah.
No, in case anybody's wondering, there is a fantastic John Oliver about the W wrestling and essentially how Vince McMahon's like a real life villain.
Yeah, and that's after he screwed. And that's after he screwed his brother too, Brett.
True.
Yeah, if you ever want some entertaining interviews, look up Bret Hart talking about Vince McMahon.
Oh God,
he doesn't spare any feelings. But
I'm sure there's lots of people who would just roast him.
But I will say that the other wrestling promotion now, the major one, AEW, they have done a lot of work with Owen's widow, Martha. And they have there's an Owen Hart Foundation. It's a charity that donates and helps people, especially who have lost a loved one and everything. I'll answer that in a minute, Pink Bunny. And now that AEW's got it, you can get officially licensed Owen Hart merchandise through their website, and every bit that you purchase, they match a donation to the Owen Hart Foundation. And have like a tournament set up in him, yeah. That's pretty good. But yeah, there is a lot of tragedy with this thing of entertainment. And who are my top 3?
Yeah.
I'd have to say Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. Savage. Always liked Savage. Always liked Randy Savage. And Dustin Reynolds. Gold Dust.
Nice.
Yeah.
See,
those are mine.
I haven't watched wrestling since I was a kid, so I can't really give you much. I would probably say Rowdy Piper, just because.
Well, Piper too, yeah. It's hard to pick 3. It's hard for me to pick 3 because I could just keep naming like my favorites all day. But usually most people go, it's either Hogan or Savage. Savage all day. He was better on the mic.
Oh yeah. I would definitely go Savage over Hogan. Well, if for no other reason, Hogan's kind of shown he's kind of a dick recently.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough to stand up for him. But yeah, Iron Claw. Like even me, I'm like I said, I haven't really seriously watched wrestling in like decades. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It is not a lightweight or fun movie.
Yeah, no.
But it is a well done movie. And honestly, like it's an A24 movie. So like we're probably gonna get lots of A24 movies this year because they made deals with the unions during the strike so they can continue production on movies. So
and they also made one of Chavo that made a deal with Chavo, so they might be doing the Guerrero family as their next wrestling movie, which I would be down for.
Yeah, I mean
I'd be down for that one.
You know,
that would be another one that you won't be leaving with a smile on your face, but
oh God, it's so sad. But are we ready for some more lightweight entertainment?
Yeah, let's brighten it up. Oh wait,
yeah,
no, we're not brightening it up just
Daredevil
yet.
season 2. So listen, I remember Daredevil season 2 being an extremely mixed bag, with me loving the Punisher and the Wilson Fisk stuff and finding the Hand and Elektra boring. So on this rewatch, I don't know if I will agree with the Hand stuff because we haven't gotten to it. The first 4 episodes are pretty heavy Punisher stuff, and I love these episodes. This is a great start to the season, I would say.
Yeah, it had been a while since I had watched this. I think since it first came out. And a lot of it, like, I thought the Punisher stuff was later in the series. Like, I thought this was the one where he started off recuperating from getting his ass kicked in a church. But obviously about midway through the first season is like, okay, I got my seasons mixed up. That has to be 3. Okay.
You see, I haven't even seen 3, so it'll be fun to get to that. But yeah, this just starts out immediately with essentially the Punisher stuff, and I am all
Punisher
for
just
it.
killing motherfuckers.
Dude. Yeah, Punisher is just like, it opens up with like the mob saying, "Hey, Wilson Fisk is gone. We're the guys who are left, and this is our time to shine." And then Punisher just opens fire and kills everybody in the room except one dude who,
yeah,
and for a little bit we follow around that guy as he goes to Murdoch and Nelson, and Karen has tried to help him, and Punisher is still going after him during all this. And I love how essentially it starts out with Punisher. He's like, I wouldn't call him, like, I would never call him a hero actually ever, but like, he's not, like, essentially it's starting out kind of with its comic roots where he's kind of villainish. Not that, like, he's killing other bad guys, but he's still kind of a nuisance for the heroes. The Punisher here is John Bernthal, and I also want to add John Bernthal. I love his portrayal of Punisher. I think he adds a very human element to it, especially in that monologue towards the end of episode 4.
Yeah,
where like the whole like backstory of the Punisher, that's just a monologue where he is like doing a speech, and he does a fantastic job with it, because that's one of those moments that's entirely dependent on, can your actor sell this, and he does. There's just what was your thoughts on the first 4 episodes, Bobby?
I really enjoyed this. Like, I had forgotten how much I really enjoyed this series, while watching it. Yeah, John Bernthal, man, he was good as Punisher, like, really good. I kind of wish we got more of him, and I hope for him to return. I don't know if they announced anything in regards to him returning.
No, we've essentially got the Daredevil cast returning, and that's
like,
what we know so far.
Full cast?
Yep. Karen and Foggy got confirmed like a month or 2 ago.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, and
I was wondering how they're going to do one without Foggy.
This.
with how they're going to do it without Foggy.
Yeah, it was weird, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're not returning," and now they are, and it's like, okay, I'm glad they're returning,
because that actor, like Eldon Hudson, is fucking hilarious, and he has great natural comedic timing, but he can switch on the dramatic side too.
Yes, absolutely.
I really enjoyed this, especially the whole hallway fight scene where Daredevil just starts beating the crap out of motherfuckers.
Well, this has a variant. Like, obviously, you get the hallway fight in season 1. Then season 2 is like the kind of like the upgrade. It's not quite as good in my opinion, because in my opinion the cuts are a bit more obvious in this one. But it's like, instead of being a hallway fight, it's a fight through multiple rooms and multiple flights of a building. It's much more complex.
That whole bottom level.
Yeah. But sometimes I love chat. Sometimes I just the whole fight there, like, and like I said, like, I felt like the cuts were a bit more obvious there. Like, there's obviously this camera move where they go right up onto Daredevil's back. And it's like, okay, that was definitely a cut, but it's still technically difficult when you fake the one shot scenes like that, which, I mean, usually that's what you do. They're still technically difficult, and they will depend on very long shots to sell it. So like getting the choreography done is excellent. Bernthal, Crossbones, and Civil. No, that wasn't Bernthal. That was Frank Grillo.
Yeah, that was Crossbones. Yeah. Was that his name? Yeah.
Yeah, Frank Grillo played Crossbones in Civil War, and he also did it in Winter Soldier. It was just before he was Crossbones. But yes, yeah, this is the first episode is just kind of introducing the Punisher. Second episode is Matt essentially tracked down the Punisher. Third episode is Punisher capturing Daredevil, and then Punisher gets kind of beat up, and then Daredevil has to kind of defend him as he fights through the building. And then the fourth episode is the mob going after Punisher, almost killing him. Then Daredevil kind of saves him, and he gets arrested. It's kind of like, yeah, I think I lucked out picking the first 4 episodes because it's all kind of like the introductory story to Punisher. Because the episode ended, Punisher's arrested, and we get Elektra introduced. And I'm like, I hope I like the hand stuff better the second time around. I really do. Because I remember being so bored by it. I do think it's interesting. I have the IMDb ratings up or the IMDb episode listing up. And it's like the Punisher stuff. The first 4 episodes have like all really high scores. And then the scores drop like a whole point from episode 4 to 5. And I'm like, oh, no. But we will see. We will see. But I will say Daredevil season 2, first 4 episodes, I would say just as good as season 1. Just really great stuff. I think they do a great job introducing a new Punisher. As much as I like Thomas Jane as Punisher, I think John Bernthal does like the best job with the role. And he also gets much better material too. Because I feel like what hurt Thomas Jane was more the material than his performance. But yeah, this is just a great start to the season. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm interested what my second thoughts on season 2 will be. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, I like I said, it had been a while since I've actually watched this, so it's kind of like watching it again for the first time.
Yeah,
I'm liking the elements that they're playing within the characters themselves of Foggy and Matt, and their Karen. Is that the character's name?
Yeah,
it is.
Karen.
Okay, yeah. I'm liking their dynamic because that's like the heart of the show.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like, it's been so long, I kind of forget what happens, but I'm excited to see what is going to happen next.
Well, you got anything to add, or you want to dive into Avatar?
Yeah, let's get into that show I had never watched before.
Yeah, well, I guess we're coming at this from different things. So, like, Avatar is always a series I've wanted to sit down and watch all the way through, and I've never done it. I've sat down and like 3 times I've watched all season 1 and started season 2 and then just dropped it for some reason and then just never picked it back up. And it was never because the series was bad. So like these first 10 episodes, I've seen them quite a few times. So I'm fairly familiar with them. But like, this is just a series where it's like, I need to sit down and finish watching it. So like, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of using the podcast as an excuse to be like, okay, I'm going to finish watching this so we can get ready for the Netflix series that's coming out fairly soon. And you know what? It's not like there's a whole lot coming out right now anyway, so it works out well. So Bobby, you haven't seen this before. What are your thoughts?
Never in my life have I ever watched this. My thoughts? I enjoy it. At first, I really felt like a lot of the episodes were kind of just very much one-off episodic episodes.
Yeah,
like they're not too much connecting with each one. And I remember I was like kind of thinking that to myself, and going, man, I really wish that, they would kind of make this a little bit more linear and have it be like more episodic than just one-offs. And I was thinking this right around episode 7, which left on a slight cliffhanger. And then the next one, they just went right to it. And I was like, okay, cool. And before I knew it, I was at episode 10, and it's like, I have to stop. That sucks.
Yeah, no,
I'm liking it, and I'm going in completely blind to it. I like that they give the backstory and premise of, or just what's happening and the lore of this world right off the bat from episode 1.
Mhm.
Cool. Now I understand all this crap. It's a lot better than Wheel of Time, where they just
Yeah.
expect
Oh,
you to
God,
do
yeah.
the required reading. And
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any backstory to this. I think this is just animated series as it
yeah,
started.
and
So this is the original
yeah,
form.
I'm enjoying it. Now, I will admit, like, I'm not the biggest anime fan.
Well, it's
So
not even
usually
anime. This is American.
it's American anime. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it makes it a little bit more palatable.
hmm
But yeah, as of now, I'm really enjoying where the series is going.
Yeah. Well,
It's goofy at times.
Yeah.
It's goofy when it needs to be. It doesn't get
Mhm.
too overly serious. And so far, though, I've been impressed with the voice cast, especially the one where Sulu was in it.
Yeah, George Takei.
Like, I was
gets to
just,
play a
holy
villain
shit,
here,
George
which is
Takei.
awesome.
Holy shit,
He is-
George
he's a
Takei.
piece of shit too.
Yeah, I was like very, very freaking out, like fanboying at that moment. Like, holy shit, George
Yeah.
Takei. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, there's lots of great casting here. Like, I will say one thing I like is that all the characters feel like fleshed out. Even
Yes.
kind of like it's obviously kind of children to young adult animation, but like it fleshed out the characters. The characters are kids and they feel like kids. And I like that aspect to him. Aang feels younger than Katara and crap. What's the brother's name? I have it on here. Why am I brain farting? Sokka. But yeah, even they come off a bit more kind of like they even though they're a bit more knowledgeable than Aang, they are not. They're speaking of overconfidence still, like teenagers would do. But also, it's not just them because what you have also is the main antagonist, Prince Zuko, who is after them, who is a well, I mean, I guess if you're one of the people who doesn't know the story of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'll go over it real fast. So, the Avatar, there's 4 magical elements essentially, where people will be born with the ability to bend these elements, and it's water, fire, earth, air. Katara is one of our main characters, and she's a waterbender, and they come across essentially a giant icicle with Aang in it. And Aang is supposed to be the Avatar. He is the last airbender because the Avatar was supposed to be born of an airbender. And the Fire Tribe destroyed the airbenders to try to get rid of the Avatar. But they found Aang, and he's supposed to restore balance to the world, essentially. So they're going on an adventure. But the problem is he's not the Avatar yet. Well, he is the Avatar, but he's not because he hasn't mastered the other elements, because that's what the Avatar does. He masters all the elements. He's just an airbender. He's a really good airbender, but that's all he's got right now. So they're going around, they're essentially looking for people to teach him the other elements. Katara's trying to teach him water bending, but he seems to quickly have surpassed her abilities because she's not super skilled at it. And yeah, he's figuring out decently quickly. But yeah, so they're going on this adventure. Meanwhile, the Fire Nation is not happy to have the Avatar out there and don't want him to stop their stuff. And the main guy who's going after him is Prince Zuko, who's the exiled prince of the Fire Nation, who essentially wants to get the Avatar so he can get his place restored in the Fire Nation. And he is another teenage character who is very fallible, and his constant companion is Uncle Ira, and he is the best character in the show.
Agreed.
Hands down.
Agreed.
No question. The uncle is amazing. I love him. Voiced by Mako, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Mako does that voice. Yeah, Mako. Fucking awesome having Mako in this show. Yeah, it was probably one of his last roles before he died, because he died in 2006. Oh, did he not finish the role? He may not have finished the role. I see he did 30 episodes. Well, that'll be disappointing. But yeah, he does a great job. I love Uncle Ira. Like he is just like Zuko takes everything super seriously. He's like, we got to get the Avatar, Uncle. We got to work on this. And the uncle's like, I'm missing a board piece on my game. I think we should go back and get a new one. Yeah, it's like, no, Uncle, this is very serious. It's like, not as serious as you think. Trust me. Yeah, no, this is Avatar is awesome, and I am kind of excited to actually have a reason to force myself to go through all of it because I always liked what I watched, and I just never finished it. But now we will. I don't know. I was going to ask you if you wanted to go into the M. Night Shyamalan Airbender eventually on the podcast, Bobby, because
I haven't heard
I don't think I
good
have that on the
things.
agenda. Oh, that's because there aren't good things, and it might be fun. It might actually be fun to, if you haven't seen it, it might actually be fun to watch it after watching season 1 because it covers season 1, and it is so much worse than the show. Just oh my god.
Okay. How about yeah, we could do it and maybe reintroduce it to Great Trash.
Yeah. We have,
but there's no good trash to it though. Yeah,
that could be fun. But yeah, no, it's interesting that you are not. I wasn't sure how familiar you were with the series. So
not very. This kind of came out when I was like, too old to be watching Nickelodeon.
Yeah, exactly. This is 2005. I was 24 when this series came out. I was not watching it when it came out.
I was 19. Yeah, no.
I mean, it even missed. I was a little too old for Power Rangers when that came out. So, like, I always say, the only thing about Power Rangers that caught my attention was, hey, the Pink Ranger's hot. Because in that age, that's all I.
It's either Mighty Morphin or fuck you.
But hey, I love Ninja Turtles, guys. Ninja Turtles was the bomb when I was a kid.
It still is.
True.
Like that new movie was fucking awesome.
Dude, yeah, Mutant Mayhem was good. I would like a follow-up to that. Yeah, Legend of Korra might be something we go into as well, which I don't know. I've heard mixed things about Legend of Korra. I know essentially here's what I know about Avatar and Legend of Korra. Both my mom and my girlfriend really like both these series, so but yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
I enjoyed this.
To finish off. Yeah,
I really enjoyed this going in blind because like I'm still just taking it in. So I other than just being blown away by the animation and the story and the voice acting, I really don't have anything else to say. Of just more. I want to see more.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me. Yeah. And I would like to actually finish this series for the love of God.
Well, it's like what 3 seasons, right?
Yep, 3 seasons. It's not super long, and they're 20-minute episodes. But yeah, I know we're doing more next week. I just have to find the schedule for next week. Well, is there anything you want to add to Avatar?
No.
Okay. All right. So next week, okay, we got Star Trek: First Contact. We have Avatar, the rest of season 1, and then possibly Poor Things. There's a question mark next to Poor Things. I don't know if that's going to be easy to track down. So I'm also going to add the M. Night Shyamalan Last Airbender. It's going to be one of those two. I'm
checking my Cinemark right now to see what the status
let me check my AMC. I know I saw it when I was looking for Iron Claw. I saw it popping up.
I recently saw a comparison of this, and I was afraid it might be a spoiler. But it was comparing Poor Things to Frankenhooker.
Really?
It looks like there's not too okay. Yeah, so it leaves the Polaris Theater this Wednesday.
Let's see, there's showings today.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, It's there tomorrow. We'll be there Thursday. That's the big test.
Now Thursday, there's one in
Does
the
not
Ontario
look like
town.
it. And, well, it might get added, but yeah, it's tough to judge because that's when they start adding new stuff.
Yeah, there's one in the Ontario Town Theater, which is an hour and 45 minutes away from me.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. I got it already, and then I looked at my ticket for Iron Claw for Thursday. I was like, in Ontario, like, wait, where am I going? Driving hour 45. Nope, refund tickets.
You know, let's just reserve Poor Things. Maybe I'll come to streaming at some point. We'll just do.
Okay.
We'll finish off season 1 of Last Airbender, and then we will go into Last Airbender, the movie, and see M. Night Shyamalan take a shot at the same story. And we can look at well done, and then we can laugh at it poorly done. That sounds like a fun episode.
Yeah, that seems like it'll be good.
Let's see. Anything you want to add, Bobby, before we sign out?
No, I'm all good.
All right, everyone, party on and be excellent to each other.
Take care, y'all.
Maybe I should turn that into a drop so I don't always say it. Who knows?
Maybe.